Hey, shalom, shalom. This is Israelite School UPK under Commander General Yohana. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we're getting ready to go ahead and get started with the Sabbath service. Baaz, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yasha'ala. Yahabashua Shabakatah. Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the prayers. I'm gonna read them. Hold on. Yeah. All right. We're going to get started with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malaswaska, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Nalakia, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawathia Nawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'a Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Salakia, Hawashah Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Waha'ala, Wahataparat, Lawalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right, pray for the power. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Babakashah, Nathalanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahaquium, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakawath, Hatamaala, Hatamaala, Lagarashan, Bahashim, Yahushai, the water Aman. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. I will pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Mayaka Allah. So like, go come this way. Wa Alahayim. Matazabi Ya'ab. Alawap Yahana. Ha'alawapim. Hasaranyam. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakayayoyam. Wahagwathiam. Yahweh. Bahashim. Yahushai. The water Aman. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The troopers. The sisters. Hold on. Give me a second. Hey, shalom, so what you thought? Yes, sir. So like I'm in Sabbath Service, but I was just letting you know that it's raining. Yeah, it's pouring in time, like it's pouring and it goes off. It's pouring, and it pours. It doesn't look like it's wet, but it's pouring. Kind of, all right. Shalom. So, hey, go ahead, go get. Hold on. Put it down. Yeah, just put it down right there. Go ahead. And Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. All right. Do the All right. Psalm 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Waharataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tezalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makaurai, Yashamar, Avnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatha, Wa'aidai Walam. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon the right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83. Alahayim. Adamayalaka. Atakarash. Wa Atashakwat. Al. Kayahana, Awayabyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, A'imaka, Rawayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Ya'ai Tazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'ai Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Baria'ath, Baria'ath, Yakarathwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabar, Wayamawan, Wayamalak, Palashath, Amyashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadium, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabium, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kayarab, Wakazaba, Wakatzabak, Wakatazal, Manai, Kal, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Kaash, Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Thalahat, Harayam, Khan, Tharadatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Thabalaham, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kualawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayaid, Waya, Kapawa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dayawa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Akaharataza. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they had consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asu also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. May their nobles, like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Zebah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. All my power. Make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let him be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. All right. Hold on. Okay. I almost had it earlier. All right. Let me. I don't know if it's hot enough anymore. All right, Saul.
La Yasha'Allah.
La Yasha'Allah. All right, Yashab needs to be seated.
Leviticus 25, 51. Right?
Text by eyes. Text by eyes. Tell him let me text him. No, not by eyes. Polite. Let me text him. All right. We're in the book of Leviticus. Oh, you got
25, verse 51.
I think so.
Ready?
Get the other. Just put it right now. Yeah. I mean, the English is still. I mean, the Hebrew is still there. Leviticus 25. Okay, verse 51.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and take it from there out.
Iwad. Rabba.
Now, where you at? 25 and 51?
25 and 51.
All right. Go ahead, read it again.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 51.
Okay.
Iwad, Rabawath,
Okay.
Basha, Bashanyam, Bashanayam, Lapahawa, Lapayahawa, Yasha, Yab,
Hold on. Where you at? Hold on. Yashab. Yeah. Yashayab. Yeah. Yashayab.
Yashayab, Ga'alathawa, Makasap, Makwa Nathawa, verse 52. Wa'ama, Ma'ait,
Still 51.
52. Wa'ama, Ma'ait.
Hold on. Give me a second. Man.
Ma'ait.
Yeah. Mayata. That's Mayatha. Mayata.
Mayata. Nasha'ar. Bashanayam. Id. Shanath. Hayabal. Wakashab. Lawa. Kapawa. Shanayan. Shanayawa. Yashayab. Ath. Ga'a Lathawa. Verse 53. Kasha Kayar.
Kashkayar.
Kashkayar.
Mm-hmm.
Shana.
Mm-hmm.
Bashana. Yahaya.
Mm-hmm.
Aimawa.
Right.
La'a. Yaradanawa.
Yarad Nawa.
Yaradnawa. Baparak.
Baparak. Yeah.
La'ai Yana.
La'ai yanak. La'ai yanayak.
La'ayanayak.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 54. Wa'ama.
Wa'am.
Wa'am. La'a. Yaga'al.
Mm-hmm.
Ba'ala.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'ai taza'a.
Mm-hmm.
Bashanath.
Mm-hmm.
Hayabal.
Mm-hmm.
Hawa'a.
Right.
Waban Yawa.
Right.
Imawa.
Right.
Verse 55. Kaya.
Right.
Laya. Bunya.
Mm-hmm.
Yasha'ala.
Mm-hmm.
Ibadyam.
Mm-hmm.
Ibadwa.
Mm-hmm.
Ibadya.
Mm-hmm.
Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Ashar. Hawataza Athya. Hawataza Athya. Hawataza Athya, right?
Right.
Awathyam. Ma'arataza. Matazarium.
Matazariam, yeah.
Matazarium. Anya. Yahweh. Allahayakam. Verse 56. Salakia. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. La'ah. Da'aishawa. Da'aishawa. Lakam. Allah Yalam. Wapasal. Wamatazabah. La'ah. Thak Yamawa.
Where you at?
The La'adesh. Thakwa Yamawa. Thakwa Yamawa.
Thakwayamwa.
Thakwa Yamwa.
Mm-hmm.
Lakam.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'aban.
Mm-hmm.
Mashak Yath.
Mm-hmm.
La'ah. Thathnawa.
Mm-hmm.
Ba'aratazakam.
Right.
Laha Shath Kayath. Laha Shath Kayath.
Lahashath Kawath.
Laha Shath Kawath. Ila Ya.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
Anya.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Allah Hayakam.
Al-Hayakam, right? At the end of verse 1.
Come.
Now 7 verses. 51 through 51 through 1.
Come.
That was 7.
I gotta see. Okay. Okay, here we go. 51.
Yeah, that was
Come,
that
come.
was yeah. Go ahead. I'll read it in English. Take it back.
All right, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 51.
Right.
If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. Verse 52. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption.
Right.
Verse 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight.
This is the law about if you got a brother from your nation, from your brother, they owe you money. It's righteous for him to pay you back. I mean, of course, if he doesn't have the, this is the time of, you know, this is thousands of years ago where some brothers would pay back with labor. They would pay back with a service, and if he was of your nation, he wasn't of the other nations or the heathen children born among you. You couldn't rule with them, like they couldn't be your slaves. They couldn't be your slaves like this. You couldn't whip them. You couldn't be rigorous. You couldn't punish them in a rigorous way. You know, and you couldn't put extremely hard tasks on them like how the oppressor does today. 12 to 12-hour shifts for less than minimum wage. That's rigorous. You can't do that to a brother of your own people. He could pay you back. He can work, but you must have, compassion over him. You must have brotherhood. Read on. Go ahead. All right, just go ahead. Just go ahead. Go read in the English. Read in the English. Read the 7th verse. All right.
Verse 54. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. Verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants.
Because we are servants to the Lord.
That's right.
We serve the Most High. So amongst us, we can't serve each other like that. We can't serve each other like we can't give out. I mean, the priests can. The priests give the punishment and the laws and all of that. But the Lord is saying, don't mistreat your brother. If anybody's gonna mistreat, it's gonna be him if we disobey. But we're the Lord's servants. Read on.
For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High, your power.
Basically, I'm the only one that can make any of those decisions of how you serve me. But with your brothers, this is how I want them to serve you. If they owe you something and they're in debt with you, if here in this kingdom we've been taught that somebody owe you money, they don't pay you, you got to get it by any means necessary. Listen, with your brothers, man, we got to learn how to be brotherly. We can't give them, we're not living in that time. But the Most High made it clear that this is a brotherhood scripture, and that you don't deal rigorously with your brother. You let him pay you off. You let him pay you. And if the year Jubilee isn't quite over yet, or it doesn't, before the year Jubilee, you can have mercy on him. Read on. Go ahead.
Is this like where indentured servants come from?
Yeah, in a way, this is like the type of, So even when the Irish be talking about, yeah, we were slaves too. We was like slaves. Listen, you were indentured servants because your brother, the oppressor, another nation of Edomites or Caucasian people were in debt with America because they let them come over, from Ireland.
Right.
and they had to serve. They had to pay a price.
Right.
We do that to each other all the time. Blacks, Hispanics be indenturing each other too. You know, I seen it. Like at some people have a business and, hey man, I owe you one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just pay me back. Come a yard for like the next 3 months,
Right.
or come a yard. Yeah, just come pressure wash my house. Yeah, like sometimes a brother can't pay with money because he doesn't have any money, but he can pay with himself.
Right.
He can pay off a debt. Oh man, I wrecked your car, man. I accidentally did this. Like, hey man, all right, I know you ain't got to pay it, but all right, man, we're gonna look. I need some cleaning, some removal from my backyard.
Right.
A brother could do that. A brother can pay you back, but what you're not gonna do is go outside while he's doing it and whip him whip him on his back,
Right.
or not go give him a glass of water, or invite him to lunch, or even pay for his lunch, or treat him like a brother. So the oppressor, he did that with his own brothers. He did that with the Irish. So the Irish man was not a slave
Right.
like the black man was to America. Like the Hispanic man is to America, like the black man is to America now. We're slaves. We don't get. Listen, I like those people. They have benefits that we don't have. But even worse, back then, you understand what I'm saying? During the chattel slavery and the conquest of this nation. Yeah. Even the Asians, the building railroads, didn't get mistreated like blacks and Hispanics. They didn't. Go ahead.
Like for instance, we were not considered to be human. We were considered
Con.
to be property.
Con.
Like they know the difference between their people and ours.
Con.
Like, they would never consider their people to be property. Like
Con.
in World War One and World War Two, I know about World War Two. If they had like if the United States took German POWs, they would eat with the German POWs, but would not eat with the black soldiers that fought on the same side.
Good night. So exactly. So this is about that. Your brothers, the people of your nation, if they owe you and they're paying off a debt, you can't treat them rigorously. You can't be a slave master to them.
Right.
You must be a brother that's allowing him to pay a debt. Read on.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, and verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it.
The Lord, the Most High forbid us to make idols, to worship, imaginary beings, and give our faith and our love, thinking that that's a power, thinking that we're, that listens to us, that we have a habit of doing that. We do it now. It's called the Christian church.
Right.
It's called that Jesus piece that you wear on your our people, growing up, we really believed in that. We really believed that cross was powerful.
Right.
We really believed that cross, did something for us if we prayed to it. That was idolatry.
Okay.
We really believed that, that if you wore that Jesus piece, that you was doing, God was protecting you somehow. Or we wore that Virgin Mary piece or that cross. You really believed and you have faith in it. So much faith that the Most High, the real God of the Bible, he's jealous of that. And he's destroyed us. He allowed the nations to destroy us because of that. Because we put our faith in these idols. And it's deeper than that, because that represents your oppressor. We made an image of the power that rules over us because the Lord allowed them to do so. And that image represents the oppressor, because in that cross, you don't imagine a black man that died for you. You don't imagine somebody like you of your nation that died for you. In this time, it doesn't it's not in our head to think that that's who that was. We know it was the hippie Jesus, the blue eyed with the long hair and and the the pale skin. That's who we imagine on that cross, and we made an idol to it, and we believe in that idol. We believe that that's Jesus looking at me. Some of us would kiss it before we went and did anything, whether it was wicked or evil, because we thought it was going to really protect us. Go ahead. And the Lord forbid this. Go ahead.
For I am the Most High, your power. Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary.
The Lord said we're going to keep the Most High Sabbath and reverence what?
And reverence my sanctuary.
And, reverence his sanctuary. Keep his house clean. That's the only thing. Like the sanctuary of the Lord, that's a holy place. Read on.
I am the Most High.
I am the Most High. Is that it?
That's it, sir.
I'll read the next 7 in English, and then I'll read 7 in Hebrew, in the Hebrew. But read the next 7 in English. Yeah, just read them in English. Yeah, I'll read the next 7 in Hebrew.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them. Verse 4. Then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase.
And the Most High said, in what season?
Then I will give you rain in due season.
He said, if we obey the Lord and we keep his commandments, the weather will be straight. The weather will act right. You notice that the weather don't act right now. You notice that in this time in society that we're living right now, weather is not for us. The climate is not on our side. And when I mean our side, I mean in this earth right now. But nothing's on blacks and Hispanic sides right now. We're trying to get on the Lord's side. But as far as the earth in its entirety, the earth is not on, the weather is, the Lord controls the weather. That's why he says that his angel is in the whirlwind. He's in the whirlwind. The Most High controls the weather, and you can't fight against the weather, man. Right. You seen what happened in Mayfield, Kentucky.
Right.
It got flattened out. Like they said, it was, it's like a hydrogen bomb came through there. It was like an atomic bomb came through there.
Okay.
I mean, it's not on because it's not in. You see the weather in December. It's hot. It's warm. That causes violent, warm weather. You learned that in science when you was in school, that when cold air and hot air mix, that's not a good combination.
Right.
It gets violent. So if you look at all through the earth and all in these past decades and these past years, it has been atrocity after atrocity pertaining to weather or earthquakes or anything to deal with what they call Mother Nature. Not what we call Mother Nature, but what they call Mother Nature. But with the weather, because the Most High controls it. Right. He's telling you right now. But as a nation, blacks and Hispanics, if we was ruling and we're obeying the Lord, we're not having that. The weather's going to be, it's going to rain when it's supposed to. It's going to be cold when it's supposed to. It's going to be hot when it's supposed to. It's going to be warm and cool when it's supposed to. That's why he got seasons. The seasons are what? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And they're supposed to go like that. And they have the time and their seasons. But not right now. Right now, the Most High is, the weather is not on it's not on the earth side. It's not on the side of this society. Because it's more, it's more tornadoes coming. Things just get ugly. You might have a blizzard in goddamn March and May. That's how the Lord controls the weather, and he knows that affects things. It affects crops, it affects animals, it affects the environment. So how can you fight against a power like that?
Right. It's
better to just obey him. And he's telling you, if we act right, if we get it together and we obey him, then the rain is going to be in its due season. Christ control the weather. He's calmed the storm and everything. Read on.
And the land shall yield her increase,
And the land's going to do what it's supposed to do. Read on.
and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Verse 5. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
So there won't be no starvation. Won't be, you won't have a famine. You won't be starving if we obey the Most High, man. And that's just what it is. Like, we might not get that right now, but the Israelite school UPK, we understand that. Read on.
Verse 6. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land.
Evil what?
Beasts.
Evil beasts meaning who? Who the beasts?
The other nations?
Yeah, the other nations, the real savages. Evil beasts of the land. And don't take me on this. I think this is also talking about, about the other nations, we know they're the beasts, but I believe this is saying when it's evil, meaning there's wild beasts out there that don't necessarily benefit a farm. Like, it might be wild boars. That could be an evil beast. Evil, like sometimes evil in the context is something not good for something. So, like, a wild boar may be an evil beast of the land because wild boars that eat the crop. Wild boars that dig into the, if you know a little bit about like farming, and wild boars that dig into the root of something and eat that. Some, maybe snakes or lions that don't, some beasts are not supposed to be in the land where you dwell. In the wilderness, all kind of beasts could dwell there. That's the wilderness. But the Lord said he'll rid of all the beasts of the land, the evil beasts of the land. The ones that they won't even come to where we dwell and where we farm, where our livelihood is at. Read on.
Neither shall the sword go through your land.
And neither shall what?
The sword.
Meaning war. Like, if we obey the Lord, we won't have it won't, everything will be good and gravy. You won't even have warfare. Read on.
Verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies. And they shall fall before you by the sword.
And then we'll go make war with them if we see that they're trying to come against us. And we'll chase them, and they shall fall by the sword. The Lord will be with us. Read on.
Verse 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
Meaning this, listen, and this is he's telling Israel this in the wilderness about the land that he's promising them. But this is to us now. To blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians today. The Lord is being sarcastic in a way. He's saying, well, not really, but he's saying, listen, if you obey me and my commandments, 5 of you can beat 100. 5 of you will chase 100. 100 men will be scared of 5 of y'all. And what else?
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
And 100 of you will scare 10,000 of the other nations, of your enemies, if the Lord is with you. What's the proof? Listen, man, the Israelite school UPK, this government of America is afraid of the UPK in this manner, that they know that the Lord is with us and that they can't stop what we do and what we say against this kingdom. That's just a part of it. But in the kingdom of heaven, of course, in the kingdom of heaven, Christ is going to be with us. But the Lord is being exaggerated. He's saying, listen, it's a black man speaking. You got to understand. That's how blacks and Hispanics speak. Like, we're exaggerating. But we really mean it, though. You know how, black, Hispanic, we exaggerate, but we really mean it? Go ahead.
Right, because many of the battles in Israel, the Lord took a small number
and
destroyed
them. He proved it. He went and proved it. Read on.
Uh, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Verse
By the who?
by the sword.
By the sword. Meaning, listen, if it came down to the nitty gritty, they're gonna lose. They're gonna get put to death by the sword. Read on.
Verse 9. For I will have respect unto you
Mm-hmm.
and make you fruitful.
He will do what?
Have respect unto you.
And I always heard General Muhammad say this: Is the Lord? Does the Lord? Whose side is the Lord on with today?
Our oppressor.
Our oppressor, right? You know, and this scripture right here kind of solidifies that. Blacks and Hispanics' condition today is destruction. It's oppression. It's the worst of the worst conditions we can, any human can possibly live in. Meaning that the Lord is not respecting us right now.
Right.
He has given his side. I mean, when I mean his side, I mean he don't love them. He's just not on our side. Right. So if he's not on our side and not respecting us, he's allowing the other nations to have that type of power.
Right.
If the Lord is not with you, he's against you.
That's right.
So the Lord is not with blacks and Hispanics right now. He's with the UPK, but he's not with us as a nation.
Right.
As an entire nation of people. But he's telling you right now, I would have respect for you, for Israel, and make you fruitful. Read on.
And make you fruitful and multiply you.
Uh-huh.
And establish my covenant with you.
Uh-huh.
That's
the end of verse 9. Go ahead.
And as far as that's concerned, look at the abortion situation in
right.
the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. Like, blacks can't get over 12 to 14% of this population in this country, man. We stay at that number, but yet we aborting 300,000 of our babies a year.
Right. Right, because the Lord is not on our side.
Right.
He won't let us die. That's for sure. The Lord made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the hope. That's the faith that we have here in the Israelite School UPK.
Right.
Knowing that the Lord won't all the way destroy us. He destroy us, but he will raise up men. He will raise up righteous men out of all of this chaos and allow us to one day be a ruling nation again. That was the end of verse 9.
Come.
All right, let me read in the Hebrew, the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 10. Wa'akal thumb, wa'akalathum, Yishan, Nawashan, Wayashan, Mamanaya, Mapanya, Kadash, Thawatasayawa, Thawatazayawa, verse 11. One Thathaya, Mashakanya, Bath, Wakakam, Wala'a, Thaga'aila, Napashya, Athakam, verse 12. Wahathalakathya, Bathawakakam, Wahayayathya, Lakam, La'alahayam, Wa'atham, Thahayawa, Salakia, Laya, La'ima, verse 13. Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam Ashar Hawatazathya Athakam Ma'arataza Matazarayim Ahayath Laham Ibadyam Wa'ashbar Wa'ashabar Matath Ilakam Walak Athakam Kwawa Mama Yawath, verse 14. Wa'am La'a Thasha Ma'aiwa Thasha Ma'aiwa Laya Wala'a Tha'aishawa Ath Kal Hamatazawath Ha'ala, verse 15. Wa'am Ba'kakwathya Thama'asawa Wa'am Ath Mashapatya Mashapatya Salakia Khan Tawada Thagaila Thagail Napashkam Labalathya Aishawath Ath Kal Matazawathya Lahaparakam Ath Barayaithya, verse 16. Apa Anya Aisha Za'ath Lakam Wahapakwaдаthya Ilayakam Kahala Ath Hashakapath Wa'ath Hakwadakoth Makalawath Ayanayam Wamadayath Salakia Wama Dayabath Napash Wazaraitham Larayakwa Zaraikam Wa'akalahawa Wa'akalahawa Wa'alkahawa Salakia Ayaba Yakam. That's the end of verse 16.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, and verse 10. And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new. Verse 11. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. Verse 12. And I will walk among you, and will be your power, and ye shall be my people. Verse 13. I am the most high your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you go upright. Verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments. 15. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, Verse 16, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
Mm.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain,
Mm.
for your enemies shall eat it.
Right. That's the curses. Is that it on that? I'll read the next 7
In English?
in English.
Come.
No. Yeah, read them in English and then read 7 in Hebrew.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall flee when none pursueth.
Mm. Ain't that what we do now? Ain't that what blacks and Hispanics do now?
Okay.
All our enemies ruling over us,
Right.
and they hate us,
Right.
and we flee when none pursueth.
Right.
What do black and Hispanics always fleeing from? And sometimes they ain't even who? The police. I mean, yeah, they pursue us, but sometimes, we know we ain't doing right. So, go ahead.
Being on the block. And
Yeah,
the cops
con.
roll up. Everybody run.
Everybody
They after
run.
Everybody.
Con. You see the police, they ain't even there for us sometimes. We don't get near where we see police lights. Look, we avoid that. Like, oh man, the cops over there. Nah, we ain't going that. We going this direction. It may not even be there for anything to do with us, but we flee that. You know what I'm saying? It's a Christ. We flee for immigration. It's a lot.
Right.
But we're always fleeing from somebody because we're oppressed so much. We're destroyed so much that it's in our mind to be, to have that mindset of being persecution. And the Lord said this will happen to us if we decided to disobey him. Read on.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Man, I saw this devil one time on YouTube. He was driving around in a pickup truck.
Right.
And he was picking up Issacharites. You know how they get in the back of the truck to go to a job, like he had a job for him. So he loaded the back up, just stopping and until the truck got full.
Right.
Then he pulled up in front of the immigration office, man.
Right.
And everybody jumped out the truck and scattered.
Yeah, come.
But that was a wicked devil for that.
Man, Most High in Christ.
Verse 18. And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. Wow. Verse 19. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass.
He will what? He will do what?
And I will make your heaven as iron.
He will make our what?
Heaven as iron.
So is heaven in the where the Lord is only? Like is so what is he saying? What is the Most High saying? That heaven is a what?
Condition.
A condition. He said he will make our what?
Heaven as iron.
He said he will make our condition hard. That's what he's saying. That's how blacks and Hispanics speak. And slang. That's a slang for saying, yo, I'm about to make it difficult for you. Ain't that what he's saying, Boz? I'm gonna make it hard for you, man. All right? I'm gonna make your heaven as iron. That's a nice. I'm gonna start using that. That's a hard one right there. I'm gonna make your heaven as iron, man. All right, I got you. If you disobey the Lord, that's what he's telling. If we disobey him, he would say he will make our heaven, meaning our condition. Heaven and hell is a condition. He'll make our heaven as iron. And our what?
And your earth as brass.
And your earth, meaning the lowest condition, like your earth as brass. Read on.
Verse 20. And your strength shall be spent in vain.
And your what?
Your strength shall be spent in vain.
And our strength shall be spent. And that's what we do now, man. You know how many times we done heard our family say, man, we work for 50, 60 years. And what do we have? I've seen this plenty of times and I see it with our people. I really experience it firsthand with my immediate family, like some of my immediate family, not immediate family, but like family members, like blood, like that I seen them work all their life and have nothing. And I know it's like, then I realize, okay, yeah, it could be, people say, well, I didn't go to school or I didn't have this opportunity. And this society wants to blind you saying, well, it's because the rich this does this and the poor do this. And it makes sense to society why these reasons, that's why we're so attracted to this blacks and Hispanics are attracted to try to find a way, and how oh man, but this is what rich people do. This is how they don't pay taxes, and this is what they learn, and this is what they study, and this is they invest in stocks, and like, well, we didn't know any of that, and we still ain't. And now we still don't know any of it, even if we think we know. Even if we think we know, we don't know any of it. But it's not so much because we're dumb or we're not educated enough. It's because the Lord is against us.
Right.
That's the real reason. The real reason is because that's what. Read it again.
And your strength shall be spent in vain.
And our strength has always been spent in vain in this captivity. You remember when they used to hear about sharecropping,
Right.
crop sharing, or whatever they call it, sharecropping. Blacks and Hispanics, we did all of that. Spent 50, 60 years farming land, working in the mills, and have nothing. Nothing saved up, no investment, no nothing. And don't think because now you live in it, we live in a society now where all the information is available. How, oh man, but now if you ain't rich, um then I don't know what you're doing. All this money out here. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna get this money and you're gonna end up getting killed. You're gonna be rich and you're not gonna get to enjoy all of that because you're just look at what the hip hop industry is like. All them becoming successful and rich in the music industry by us is their strength, and then just losing it to gun violence or not owning your masters, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we have all the knowledge that all press kind of gives away for free now. They're already a million years ahead of us. Ain't no way, because it's not about that. It's about us not being obedient to the Most High.
Right.
It's about us not having our power on our side. So we will never be anything if the Lord is not on our side, by us. Our strength will be. It don't matter. I seen people. That's why with blacks and Hispanics, most of the time when you hear about success, you hear about what? About how we fell from the success, how we lost it all. Like, oh yeah, we reached. Don't think, man. Listen, don't think because you see blacks and Hispanic celebrities now. Most of the times we don't end up good. It doesn't end up good. And again, that's individually, but as a nation, what good does it do to have a few wealthy, of our people when as a nation we're destroyed? That's in vain. That doesn't mean anything. Read on.
For your land shall not yield her increase.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruit.
Right.
Verse 21. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins.
And saying if we walk against him, contrary to him, against his law, statutes, and commandments, against what he, told us to do, then he'll bring 7 times more plagues. Crack cocaine, abortion clinics, single parent homes, the ghetto, drugs, weed, all of the AIDS, blood disorders, high blood pressure, diabetes. Come on, man.
Mass incarceration.
Mass incarceration. All of those plagues are terrible, man.
Right.
Not having an identity, man.
Right.
Come on, man. The Most High, the Most High warned us. He warned our forefathers, and they disobeyed. But now the truth is here. Now, when we learn the truth, and we know who we are, and while we're in the condition, we have no choice we should have no choice, and we should not want to do anything else but to get back to that heaven,
That's right.
to get back to that, to obeying the Lord. Read on.
Verse 22. I will also send wild beasts among you,
Mm-hmm.
which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. Verse 23. And if ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me.
That was a verse in the verse what?
23.
Read the next 7 verses in the Hebrew.
Come.
That's that'd be what, 5 verses? That'd be 5. That'd be 35 verses.
Come.
All right.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Wahalakathia, Apa, Anya, Imakam, Bakwaria, Wahakayathia, Athkam, Gam, Anya, Shabai, Al, Kata'ath Yakum. Verse 25. Wahaba'athya. Al Yakum. Karab. Naquamath. Naquam. Baryath. Wana at wana asapthum. Al. Ira Yakum. Washalak Washal Kathia. Washalakathia. Dabar. Bathawak Bathawakakum. Bathawakum. Wanathathum.
Wanathathum.
Wanathathum. That's too many thousand.
Wanathathum.
Wanathum. Wanathathum. Come. By
It's Wanathathum. I mean, you almost got it.
all right. Bayad. Our Yab. Verse 26. Basha Barya. Lakam. Mata. Lakam. wa power, Ishar, Nash, Nashiyam, Laka, Lak,
Yeah, national.
Lakam,
Lakamkam.
Lakamkam, Bathun, Batha, Bathunawar,
Basnawar.
Bathnawar, Akkad, Waha, Waha, Wahash, Yabawa, Wahash, Yabwa, Lakumkum, Bamash, Bamashaqual,
Bamashqual, yeah. Yeah, Bamashqual.
Wa'a, Wa'akalatham, Wala'a, the Shab, I, Dasha Ba'iwa, verse 27.
Yeah.
Wa'am,
Mm-hmm.
Baza'ath,
Mm-hmm.
La'a,
Mm-hmm.
Dasha Ma'ar,
So
Dasha Mai,
that's
Dasha
Tasha
Maiwa,
Tasha Maya, yeah, kind.
Laya,
Mm-hmm.
Wahalak Thum,
Mm-hmm.
Aimawa, Bakwaria, verse 28. Wahalakathum, Wahalakathia,
Wahalakathia. Mm-hmm.
Aimakum,
Mm-hmm.
Bakamath, Quaria, Quaria, or Quaria.
Mm. Which one? Bakwaria?
The next Quaria or Quaria.
But the whole word is Bakwaria, right?
Baka
Bakwaria.
Bakamath,
Oh. Oh, okay. Quaria.
Quaria,
Mm-hmm.
Wayasarathia, Athkum, Apa, Anya, Shabai, Al, Kata'athiakum, verse 29. Wa'akalathium, Wa'akalathum, Bashar, Bunyakum, Wabashar, Banathiakum, Tha'akalawa, verse 30. I started at 23.
Yeah, you go. Verse 30 is the last one.
Okay. Waha Shamad Waha Sham Dathia. Wahash Madathya. Ath Bamath Yakam. Waha Karathia. Ath Kamanyakam.
Mm-hmm.
Wanathathia.
Wanathathia.
Wanathathia. Ath Pagaryakam.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pagarya.
Mm-hmm.
Galawalyakam.
Mm-hmm.
Wagaila.
Mm-hmm.
Napashia. Athkam.
Okay. That's in verse 30. Read it in English.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 24. Then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant.
Right. The what?
The quarrel of my covenant.
The quarrel is covenant. I mean, he made a covenant with us.
Right.
So he's gonna avenge if we break it. If we break it, you gotta get paid back.
Right.
It's like betraying them. Betrayal. That's a very evil thing to do. Read on.
And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven,
Mm.
and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight,
Mm.
and ye shall eat and not be satisfied.
Mm.
Verse 27. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, verse 28, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins.
Mm.
29. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons,
Mm.
and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat.
Mm.
Verse 30. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols,
Mm.
and my soul shall abhor you.
And the Lord is just saying the things he's being very he's being very descriptive with the type of punishment. Now this like either sons of your flesh and your daughter, I'm gonna get a clarification on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's like how blacks and Hispanics do now. Like eat is still like like in a metaphor saying we're gonna be evil towards them children, like destroy your children, your sons and your daughter. Like it'll be your reason why they're dead. It'll be your fault why they're destroyed, and that's what he told our forefathers. The reason why we're the blacks and Hispanics are all destroyed is because what they did. And that's what we're doing now is the reason why our children are destroyed. Go ahead.
And it also ensures manifold too, because remember the story of the woman who like there was a famine,
Right.
and she came and brought her to the king or whatever, whoever
Yeah.
it was, and she
Come.
said that the woman said that we were gonna eat my child today, and
Mm-hmm.
then eat her child the next
Con,
day, and
con.
then she hid
Yeah,
us.
it could be reality too. I mean, okay, in the ghetto, when we starved, and some of them, and I seen it in movies, and I'm pretty sure I witnessed it when I growing up. Some women would sell their daughters, would prostitute their daughters, or not even that, would let a man come in because they're such a need of a man, and that man would molest their daughters and their sons. That's kind of like that's kind of like it's the same thing. It's true, but basically the Most High is saying that it's gonna be so bad that you'll go to the extreme to survive. I'm gonna make it so bad where you'll do things unimaginable to fulfill your desire of hunger or whatever it is that you lack of. Go ahead.
So like yes, sir, man. When that crack first came out,
Right.
man, you had mothers selling their daughters like it was
Khan.
nothing, man.
I understand. Khan, I know.
That was crazy.
It's basically the Lord is being descriptive about something. Yeah, you will eat the son. Yeah, he's saying, look, this is the type of things that you'll do because I'm against you, and I'm gonna send these plagues against you, and it'll be so bad that you'll do things that, like, if you tell back then, if you tell them like, hey man, you will eat the son. He's like what? Like just like somebody won't believe that somebody sold they daughter for a hit of crack. It's extreme. That's what the Lord's saying. Go ahead.
And he's stepping it up too. Like he started off with this punishment,
Right.
then he turned it up, and he turned
Right.
it up. And he's
Right.
like, and if you still don't hearken to
Right.
me,
I'm
then
doing
he gonna
7
turn
more.
it up. Yeah.
Well, the condition blacks and Hispanics live right now is extreme. They're extremely tough, hard conditions. The way we live as a people. Let's not even talk about our brothers and sisters down in the other down in the other countries where you have MS-13s and when you have cartel gangs and they literally chop up people and they literally eat people. They eat them because they're bloodthirsty now. And not so much because they're hungry for it. Like some people might be sick in the mind, but it's like I hear. It's what I hear. I hear from people that know about cartels. They've been down there. Like, yeah, man, he'll eat the heart or he'll feed you the flesh. It was like it's believing like how the heathens believe. That like that you eat the heart of your enemy. That type of nonsense. But it's our own people doing this to our own people, basically, man. Or child trafficking. Basically the Lord saying is it is going to be extreme conditions, man. Read the next 7 verses in English.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 31. And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
Uh-huh.
Verse 32. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. Verse 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Verse 34. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 35. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when ye dwelt upon it. Verse 36. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and
Go ahead.
and the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee as fleeing from a sword.
That's us. That's us now. We're afraid of everything. Everything scares us because we don't have the Lord on our side. Oh man, conspiracy theories, a vaccine. Everything scares blacks and Hispanics. not knowing that everything scares us because we let the oppressor shake up any story, make up anything on media, and now we thinking that that the earth is about to be destroyed by this, by a meteor or by a famine or by like the Lord is saying this. You as a people, you're not supposed to be afraid of anything. If you're my people, and if you obeyed, I will respect you, and you will have everything, and you will fear nothing. But if you disobey, everything will be extreme. All you have so many plagues and so many problems in your life as a people. You'll be so destroyed that, and the ones that are left of you, the ones that don't die, you'll be scared of everything. The shake of a leaf will scare you. Once again, it's a black man. Hold your thought. The black man speaking. Anything scares blacks and Hispanics now. Oh man, COVID. I mean, of course it's here, but we're afraid of every little thing, and of course it's serious, and it's real, and it's a plague from the Lord. It's a it's for this is gonna. It's supposed to be for our enemies, but we get it too because as a people we haven't obeyed. We're not a nation yet. We're not that nation that we're supposed to be, but we're not supposed to be in that manner. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Salaki, if I could, it's like a running joke in the black community. Like if you're out in the woods or something and you hear like a shaking leaf or
Right,
something,
right,
the oppressor would be like, they say like, I'm going to investigate.
right,
They'll go check it out. But
right.
the black man he
He's
ain't
like,
gonna stick
nah,
around.
right. Like we're cowards is basically what the society paints us to be.
Right.
But the Lord said, I'm gonna make you be afraid of everything, everything and anything. That's how insecure we are as a nation that because we know we don't really have, even though we're a people that are always calling on God's name and the Lord, God help me because we're always in this situation. The Lord said He don't hear sinners. We're like strangers to Him as a people. Not in the UPK, and the UPK is different. But as a people, we're like strangers to Him. He doesn't listen to us. He may hear us, but He's not listening to us. He's not doing what we're asking for Him to do. Read on. Read the next 7 verses. That'll be 14, right?
I ain't finished these yet, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
And they shall fall when none pursueth. Verse 37. And they shall fall upon one another. And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth. And ye shall have no power to stand before your enemy. That's it.
All right, read the next 7.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 38. And ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. Verse 39. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. Verse 40. That they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me. Verse 41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Meaning this, but then if they accept what they done, that's what we're doing now. That's the whole purpose of the Israelite School UPK, is to make our people realize who we are and accept why we're in the condition that we're in, and humble our uncircumcised hearts. Then the Lord will have mercy on us. Read on.
Verse 42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob.
He said, only then will this change. Only then, once as a people we realize who we are. That's why it's so important to know that we're the Lord's people.
That's right.
This is so very important that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians know who we are to the Most High, to the God of this Bible, the God that created the heavens, the stars, and the everything. when we realize that, then we repent, then we humble ourselves, then we accept why we are in the condition that we're in. Then the Lord said, only then will He remember the covenant with who? With Jacob.
Right.
Then He'll remember. Then He'll consider us again. That's what the Israelite school. Why we do what we do on the street corners is so that our people can remember, so that our people can accept, so our people can be once again humbled to the Most High.
That's right.
Read on.
And also my covenant with Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember,
Uh-huh.
and I will remember the land. Verse 43. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because because they despise my judgments,
Mm-hmm.
and because their soul abhorred my statutes.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 44. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away.
See, that's what will happen. That's why we're here. That's why He sent His prophets. That's why this is so deep to understand that we're the Lord's people.
Right.
And the only way that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians can stop dying by racist police officers, by the drug pandemic, by stop being, human trafficked, stop being, gang violence, drug violence, and gun violence, and senseless murders. And we want all of these things to stop. There, no prison reform, no higher education reform, no what other things people say, no economic plan, no, whatever else that this world offers us a solution to our problems, it will not work. That does not work.
Right.
It will never work. What will work is for us to accept the iniquities of our forefathers and our iniquities, accept who we are, and be humbled and start obeying the Lord.
That's right.
Then will He remember the covenant He made with Jacob, with Isaac, with Abraham. Then will things start changing for us.
Right.
Only then. Read on.
And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Most High, their power.
Read the last two verses.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 45. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Of who?
For their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors.
Of who?
Their ancestors.
Our ancestors, man. That's who got out of pocket, and now that's why we're here now. But that's why, man, like for us to realize that is like a miracle. For us to realize who we are. Like we're not just African American, we're not just Native Indians, we're not just Mexicans and Hispanics. We're God's chosen people. Oh man. That's the greatest. That's better than hitting the lottery. As a people, we got to realize that, though. Read on.
Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their power. I am the Most High. Verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Most High made between Him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
All right, clap it up, give it up. That's the end of. So next time we'll start at chapter 27 and verse 1. All right, with that, Imadium. Men of Israel. Gird our loins and prepare to salute the Torah. I had it right. Yahaba Shem Yahshua Baraka Yah.
Yeah.
Got it? All right. All right. We mean to turn around and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in English. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malathwatka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baharataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathalanawa. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Kasalaknawa. Salakia. Kasalaknawa. Where am I? Lakam. Kawawathnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kawawathiyanawa. Wala'a. Tabaya'anawa. Banasayawan. Abal. Habashanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahatapara. Lawalamyam. Aman in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. I pray for the power. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Babakashah, Nathalanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Ka Makala, Waka Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazirayim, Hakak, Lahakium, Hamathium, Hakak, Arakawath, Hatama'alam, Lagarashan, Bahashim, Yahushai, Tawara Aman. All right. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal. Salaki, give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. I pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabiyah. Alawap Yahana. Ha'alawapium. Hasaranyum. Hakwatesayanyum. Hakayayayum. Wahawathium. Yahweh. Bahashim. Yahushua. Tawara Aman. In English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. The angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. The sisters. So like and the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. All right, Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ab, Ayanya, Ahahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ab, Isariam, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ab, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makaurai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tasaathka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatha, Wa'ayla. In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, Psalms 83. Alahayim, Al Damayalaka, Al Takarash, Wa Al Tashakwat, Al Kayahanam, Awayabyaka, Yahamaya 1, Ra'ash, A'imaka, Yawayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Ya'aitazawa, Altazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakira, Magalia, Wala'am, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Bariyaath, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Wa, Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wayamawan, Wayamalak, Palashath, Yashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Sarawai, Laban Yalawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadium, Kasaya, Sara'am, Kayabium, Banakar, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Hayawam, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Kayarab, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Naawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Kaash, Tabayaira Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Thabadatma, Basairika, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabalaham, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kualawan, Wayabakashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Ayaid, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadayawa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Akarataza. In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee had lifted up the head. They had taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They had said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more remembrance. For they had consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Made their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Sebah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Men of Israel. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat. Amadi, Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Yahweh Matah.